Hello and welcome to Comics Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Hello.
Hello. Hello. It's a half-hour comedy show where we find the problems in the news and we solve the problem in the news. And if we don't solve the problems in the news, you can't sue us because it's a comedy show. Ta-ting.
Boom.
Simple as that.
Lock
really.
solid. It's just a great, tight concept.
Yeah, so it's the Thursday night episode. Now, we've been doing this we're in Series 2, Episode 10 or 11. Episode 11. Ooh, over 40 episodes. Think of all the problems we've solved. During the show, if you would like to subscribe to whatever, you got your options there down the bottom. And also, we'll be popping up some details about where you could chuck some money in our pot to keep funding this, because this show is relatively expensive to put together, what with the new lighting and the new props.
Ooh, I was wondering if you were going to bring it up.
Yeah.
It's nice. Well, this is a radical shift. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is our 40th or 5th. There was 30 plus in season 1. So, in 10 shows into season 2, big change with Steve's background.
Yeah.
What have you got for us today, Steve?
Got rid of the Amazon books because no one was buying those of my book. They're still available on Amazon. So instead, what we've got here is the actual tripod that's used to hold the phone that films all of the sketches that I act in, and the microphone that does the sound on it. Over here, we have a cinema-style light. If I lean this way, you can see there's a camcorder that I used to record sketches like 10 years ago. That thing used to work.
Yeah, I got that. I got one of those.
Everyone's got right over there. Also, there's the spy lanyard from a previous sketch and the Costa cup from a previous rant. It's just like memorabilia, really, from previous shows.
You're up in your game.
I was jealous because you got your Olympia beer thing that always gets more fan mail than I do.
Yeah, it is very popular. It's good. It's a terrible beer. I don't think they can sue me for that. It's awful. But my grandfather made the sign, so you can't complain. But I think I'm going to have to up my game. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah.
You're going to see a new background next Tuesday.
Also, I should point out, I've got LED lights behind that cheap cabinet behind me. So there's some orangey lights either side of it.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Damn sexy.
This is high tech. That's what happens. Not only do we solve problems, but we're easy on the eye.
Yeah. It's what I'm spending some of that sweet £3.50 we've earned. So
that's right. If you like the changes that Steve has made to the background and you want to see more changes made to our background, and maybe some digital effect to our face, I don't know. That's where during different points during the show, you can buy us a drink through the various platforms that are there to do that, because that keeps us going. That makes us happy. But again, as Steve said, sharing the show as well. The Facebook, did you say that? You can share it on Facebook right now, so people can join you in that shared experience. And you can ding the bell on YouTube or whatever it is. Or we're not on Pornhub yet, kids.
No, we definitely get in there.
We're getting there.
Chris says, evening chaps, the messages are coming through already. If you can find yourself a message board, be it on whichever platform you're on or on the Twitter, our names are on the screen, get those messages coming through. As Eric says, we are not on Pornhub. Please do not send us any messages on Pornhub yet.
Recommendations, however. Anyway, right. We are here to solve problems and not that problem. And I think I'm kicking us off the first one. Steve, you ready for a problem that needs solved? Probably more than any other problem, I'm going to say, in the world.
Okay.
And that problem is basically one word, and that is America.
Good point.
It's my home country, Steve, and I've been living away for 20 years, and I look at it and I watch what's going on, and I just there's problems at all the different levels of society. We're going to start in a minute with the simple folk, right? Mm-hmm. Some people might have seen this. It went up viral in the last 24 hours, and these were people protesting, which is normally a good thing. I don't mind a little bit of a protest now and then, as long as it's for the right reasons. But these people were protesting in a Target. Which, do you know what a Target is?
No, tell us, inform us. Is it some sort of clothes shop, is it?
Well, it's like a Tesco superstore.
Okay.
So, but they've only just added food in the last few years. It started as more the part of Tesco that doesn't have food. It's a gigantic store. To be fair, it's very convenient. There's loads of them because it is easier to shop in America than it is here. So we still have that going over the Brits. But they're protesting essentially in a Tesco superstore. And here's the protest.
Take off your mask! Take it off! Yeah, we got someone! Take it off! Take it off!
first couple things you're going to notice from that, Steve. Notice, they're all white.
Yeah.
It's just something there about the fact that there's just a level of privilege going on. Look at how much we're suffering. Oh my God, I get sunburned and I can't do with a mask. And I'm just so sick of living in one of the richest countries on earth and having to spend my time in Target rather than go to the fancy mall. I mean, these are people who have never struggled, Steve. So we've got that base level of idiocy in America. That's a problem. But then it starts to go up. And we've got, and we're used to having an idiot president. But he's not the only idiot that wants to be president, which we can see here. Kanye, who's running for president, he's got campaign staff. He's struggled to get on the ballot, but he's warned his staff not to fornicate.
Good advice.
I mean, it's an interesting agenda that he's put forward. That's the first policy I've actually heard him talk about. And Steve, I haven't really talked about the Kanye candidacy. I haven't really talked about Kanye very much, partly because I'm not a fan, but I don't know. I mean, he's like this person that's a celebrity. I guess I suppose he's talented. It's not my music. I mean, if it's not Kenny G or John Denver, I struggle.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess he can run for president. Sure. I mean, the bar for president has been pretty much lowered.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really said a lot about what he wants to do, what his agenda is, other than stopping his staff from having a good time. I mean, to be fair, maybe stopping fornication is a good thing because then it stops people being born who are protesting in a Target. Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a whole level of game work here that I don't understand. I do know that he did send out this message.
Wow.
Yep. In case you're wondering what's happening there, Steve, that is Kanye has, much like us, he's turned to streaming. It's popular. Everybody's doing it. He is, I guess he thinks that qualifies him to be president. He's pissing on Grammy.
What does Grandad think about that?
Oh, Steve. It's a Grammy, not the Grammy. I mean, I guess that is a qualification for being president. I mean, normally, the current president gets pissed on. Kanye's switching it up. He's just something different.
Reverse.
And you think, well, how do we know? Because we don't see anything other than the shoes and the stream and the Grammy and the toilet.
Yeah.
How do we know this is Kanye's wee-wee? Because he tweeted it.
Okay.
And trust me, I won't stop, which could mean that he's got a prostate problem.
You should try stopping it. Builds up the good muscles.
I mean, I don't know how old is he? Like 35? I mean, he's got a good stream going. And I mean, I'm of an age, having that much force happening. I'm jealous. Not of the Grammy, just of the consistency of the stream.
I'm more upset that he's missing the funnel. Who would wee on a Grammy and not deliberately try and get it down the main funnel bit?
Yeah, you'd want to fill that up first. Because that's where you could get all the bubbles. Oh, that'd be nice.
It's all about the froth.
Okay, so we got different levels of stupidity. And then we have an Attorney General of the United States. And he was talking about the fact that he, who's the chief law enforcement officer, he actually doesn't like lockdowns. And he made this comparison.
Putting a national lockdown, stay-at-home orders, is like house arrest.
Is it like house arrest? No. I mean, it kind of is like house arrest when your kids are home from school.
Yeah.
But I'd say calling, staying home in the middle of a pandemic house arrest is a little bit hyperbolic. I mean, maybe just, I cut him off there. Maybe he's going to explain it in a less stupid way. Let's see what else he had to say.
It's other than slavery, which was a different kind of restraint, this is the greatest intrusion on civil liberties in American history.
Wow.
Has he ever listened to any American history? I mean, we're not the British, but we try.
Oy.
We've done some stuff as well. I'm not going to rehash it all here. But, I mean, there's only one way I feel that I can respond to that statement. But I do want to end this section on the problem of America. It's not all problem. It isn't a problem with just the people or the media, celebrities, or the attorney general. There are some people that still give me hope in my home country. And it's the woman who filmed the anti-maskers at the Target. And she said something that I thought was beautiful.
Take your mask off!
Yeah, take it off! Fucking idiot.
There's hope, people. There is hope for America.
She nailed it. Good, Paul. Wow. No wonder you moved away. I totally understand now.
Yeah.
I thought, like, why to Britain? But now when you show me those pictures, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like being under house arrest. Struth. I mean, I've never been under house arrest, so I don't know. But the fact that you are allowed to go out and you just have to wear a mask, and lockdown's not that bad anymore. Struth.
It's a mask, not an ankle bracelet.
Yeah. Chris says many an hour spent trying trying to chase a fag down the urinals. That's back in the old days when there would be the little butt end, whatever it's called, the fag butt in the urinal trough, when there used to be troughs rather than individual ones. That was really when society broke down, because in the old days we all used to wee in a long trough together, and now we all get individual ones, and all of a sudden no one's making friends.
Yeah, and less splatter on the shoes, though.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, when you showed me the picture of Kanye's shoes, that was because there's some holes in them as well where it could get through to the sock. Yeah. That is a brave man who is aware of his weeing capabilities, that he would tinkle on his Grammy wearing those shoes.
But I guess because it is Kanye, I mean, his urine is probably delicious.
Okay, I'm not really sure. I think, yeah.
I do. He's a special guy. I mean, he's a genius, or whatever he says he is.
Yeah, one of those things, yeah.
It's one of those.
It's interesting how Kanye released that video, and R. Kelly, no word from him. So interesting.
Too soon.
Is it? If you're enjoying the show, get yourself subscribed and get this shared, because we've still got the rest of the half hour of talking about the news. The link's down the bottom. And if you'd like to put some money in our pot to help us be able to afford fancy shoes like that so we can practice our weeing, there are links near where you're seeing this stream where you should be able to donate.
Yes.
Lovely stuff. Keep the messages coming through as well. But I want to deal with a big problem now. The problem of the many lockdowns in the UK. They're all over the flipping shop. Now, how do we solve it? Look, easily, you could say you wait for the vaccine. Quick word on that. What's the latest on the vaccine? China says that we could get a vaccine in time for Christmas. So that's great news. Although I'll also point out China also promised me that I'd get a Furby in time for Christmas once, and that didn't fucking happen, did it? So I'm lowering our expectations. Looks like we are going to have to deal with some of this lockdown lark. And Matt Hancock's been giving us some info.
From tomorrow, in Northumberland, North Tyneside, South Tyneside, Newcastle upon Tyne, Gateshead, Sunderland and County Durham, residents should not socialise with other people outside their own households or support bubble.
Okay, and it's actually good advice, because if you do socialise, you would be socialising with people from Northumberland, North Tyneside, South Tyneside, Newcastle, Gateshead, Sunderland and County Durham. And I'm from the Midlands, if I can make that judgment. That's nice.
Okay.
But it's actually more to do with the details of the type of lockdown they're in.
And late night restrictions of operating hours will be introduced, so leisure and entertainment venues must close between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m.
Can we have a word about why they keep bringing in curfews as part of it? Are you less likely to get the disease in the afternoon than you are? Is it a nighttime disease? Is it crepuscular? Does it come out as soon as it turns to dusk? I think what's happened is Matt Hancock has got confused between coronavirus and a vampire. Because
easy mistake.
Unless it's both. Unless we've got vampire coronavirus. Oh no! I think he might think that's what's happening, because he also gave this advice.
And anyone going out should wear garlic around their neck and take a cross.
Interesting advice. But actually, all right, back to what he was actually saying.
And I know that the people of the Northeast will come together to defeat this virus.
Why do they keep saying that in all the speeches? It's the worst piece of advice. We're meant to stay apart to defeat this virus. You can't come together to defeat this virus, and let's cross over now to an expert who has something to say on this.
Well, mingling is people coming together. That is my definition of mingling. It's people coming together.
Absolutely mingling is what it is. But yeah, it's good that Pretty's back in the news. If you watch Tuesday's show, we talked about how there's problems with her saying we should be dobbing in people, we should be snitching on neighbours who break this rule. And the reason it's confusing is that today we find out that Prime Minister Boris Johnson says that we shouldn't snitch. And I mean, it's not that much of a surprise that someone who is a philanderer, liar, and breaker of international law doesn't like the idea that people might snitch. Although actually, if we go back to it, the actual headline, look, it's not saying don't snitch. It's saying only snitch on neighbours if they are having a Animal House style party. And I saw that and I thought, that is disgusting. That my neighbours would do, and I realised I wasn't thinking of Animal House. I was thinking of the infamous film from the 80s, the porn version of Animal Farm. If you don't know this is what happened when I was growing up. Everyone talked about, and apparently it was smuggled into the UK. There is a bestiality porn film starring that Danish person. Everyone was created equal, but he might have been more equal than others in some departments. Anyway,
I have learned something in the show too. We're not just solving problems, Steve, and I'm just going to write that down.
I've never seen it, but I tell you, I did get confused once and saw a clip of it and had to write an essay for GCSE English about Animal Farm. Did not score well. Anyway. So I'm still torn about this. What should I do? I mean, would you snitch on a neighbour? There's that phrase, snitches get stitches, but then do not snitchers get a persistent cough, a temperature, and a loss of a sense of smell? You know, it's... I don't know what's the best way to do it. I did think if you get caught snitching on someone... I mean, these days people are aggressive, and you don't want your neighbours getting angry with you. Imagine you're in a park, and you see a big group of people, like 7 people. If you dob them in, they might come and be violent to you because they'll outnumber you. And if they don't outnumber you, maybe have a word with yourself first. But my theory is I will snitch. I will snitch now as long as it goes like this.
Well, officer. What brings you to a place like this?
Oh, come on, Joe. We both know you're the kind of man who likes to keep his nose to the ground. I thought maybe you might have seen something I might be interested in.
My memory ain't so good these days.
Well, maybe this might jog your memory.
Things are still a little bit foggy.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Woman at number 47 had an 18th birthday party for her kid.
I've watched way too many films. Right, keep the messages coming through. So Chris says compostula. No, it's crepuscular that I think I tried to say. Crepuscular. Is that the same as a vestibular bulb? No.
Ooh.
Well, it might be. It means coming out in the evening, and it depends if someone gets their vestibular bulbs out in the evening. So actually, yes, vestibular bulbs are crepuscular.
That's the right time to get out your vestibular bulbs.
Yeah.
It's not a daytime activity, is it?
It's not allowed on TV at that time, I'll give you that.
Not allowed. I have to say, in the double Steve action there, if I should call it that, of that last clip, I do like the fact, A, how do you still have cash?
I had to go hunting for that.
I mean, and B, the angle of you handing yourself the money and receiving the money. It's nicely done.
Thank you very much. That was, I was so happy about writing that in because we've mentioned before, like back in the day, how exciting everyone was where Michael J. Fox handed a plate to himself playing his own grandfather in Back to the Future 3. I can't do that kind of technology, but I can hand myself some money. Yeah.
At the right angle, because you leaned down and then you leaned up.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I don't know what they give Emmys for.
Not that.
Not that.
And actually, the Emmy board, don't give me an Emmy. I'll only waz on it. That's the latest trend these days. I don't think I've won anything worth weeing on. No.
Have you won anything where you get weed on?
Didn't realise that was what we were playing for. Hey, the MASH report was BAFTA nominated. I don't know if you can wee on a nomination.
You can print it out. And then just like, you bastards gave us the Mock of the Week again.
So expect that on Tuesday's show when I run out of things to film. Yep.
Don't film that.
Yeah, I got the tripod for it.
Got the tripod for it. Oh dear. Right. If you're enjoying, don't forget the subscription button is there while it's on. And if you're enjoying, you think, oh, these guys, I like what they do. I got a few extra quid because my furlough money's still coming in for a little while. And I'd buy them a drink if we could go to a pub after 10 o'clock in Newcastle. There you go. Although don't do it based on Newcastle pint prices. Do London pint prices.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Because, I mean, you could buy a house for £3 up there.
And also, just say, I know this show it's in our spare rooms, but it is quite an expensive show to put together because that last sketch required £100. So
you'll never see that again. Yep. There you go. Right. Now, it seems like I did end up being U.S. focused today. I've got another problem from the States. And the problem is, how much material can Trump give from essentially one press conference? Because, I mean, he's going to be gone soon, one way or another. That sounded ominous. That's not what I meant. You just, like, people often say to it, when you're a comedian in the Trump era, like, oh, it must give you so much material. And you're like, oh, it's just kind of overwhelming. And so I took his press conference from last night that went on for over an hour, and I just went through it, and I just randomly grabbed some of the things that he's talked about. And, it's just astounding what the man says and does. I mean, it is kind of incredible how much bullshit he says within the space of an hour. Any other president, even George W. Bush, you'd have to take at least, you couldn't get it from one press conference. You'd have to watch at least two. But, and then Obama, just the 10 suit, 8 years of presidency.
Yeah.
He wore a 10 suit. That's the only material you got from him. Boom. It's a material joke.
It's a material joke.
Anyway. I didn't plan that. I've had a bad day. All right. First off, Donald Trump in this press conference last night, he did offer to help the UK. And here's something he could do that we need here.
But when you look at what we've done on testing in terms of the technology and the amount, it's been really amazing. In fact, I think we're going to crack 100 million tests very soon. In the very near future, we're going to be cracking 100 million tests. Now,
yeah, that's more than Operation Moonshot. Maybe he could teach Boris a lesson or two. I mean, that's something that we could gain. We're missing tests here. Maybe Trump can come and help out with that. Maybe Trump can come and help out with Brexit. No one could make it worse. Of course, what's coming when Trump starts talking about all the testing, that there is a problem when you have that much testing, isn't there?
Going to be cracking 100 million tests. Now, what that does do is it shows up more cases. If we didn't test, we wouldn't have cases. You would have no cases. Other countries, they don't test, they don't have cases.
That's right. So maybe that's what's happening here in the UK. Boris is just trying to save us from getting coronavirus by stopping the tests from happening.
Okay. Makes sense.
Problem solved. Yeah. Economy unlock. Stay out till 11. Be a wild one. He's saving us. Now, Trump also talked about masks, because that's a big deal. Here he is talking about the whole issue of masks.
But again, the mask is a mixed bag. There are some people, professionals, Scott, you would know a lot of them, but there are some people that don't like the mask.
Who are those professionals that Donald Trump is going to? Yeah, that's Dr. Dipshit there in the red hat. But I guess the question is, I should stop making fun of these people. They have reasons why they might not like the masks, and Trump explains that.
Well, they don't like the mask because of the touchiness and the touching, and then you're touching everything else.
The touching. I would imagine if Stormy Daniels saw that clip, she'd have flashbacks. The touching. The touching. Trump did make news, though, with this press conference when he said this.
By the way, I read the book last night very rapidly.
Stop the press. Trump reads. That'll be a headline he can understand. He was talking about Bob Woodward's book, and he said he read the book last night. Quick read, he said. The problem is, this is the third day that he has said he read the book last night.
Ah, okay.
So he's gotten tight, because he often repeats himself, right? He often says the same thing over and over and over again. So rather than saying, I read some of the book last night, he implies he read the whole book last night for the 3 of the last nights.
It's a good reread.
Which might make you think he hasn't read the book. But he does more than read. Trump does try and get into the things that are informing his decisions as president, like he says here.
Added to the fact that our numbers are going way down, you see the numbers. I'm just reading you statistics that are from wherever they get them, but they're very highly qualified statistics.
That one's for you, Steve.
Yeah.
They're highly... Normally, I don't think it's the statistics that are qualified.
Some of those statistics went to Yale.
They're the best statistics. Only the biggest statistics. It did give us a little bit of an idea, though, about how he makes his decisions, which he said this.
It's my feeling. It's not based on knowledge.
It's just how he feels. He gets those really nice looking statistics, touches them a little, see how it makes him feel. but that's all from 1 hour. And Trump did also do a roundtable with voters this week, and he's trying as a leader to make us feel better, to say that this time will end, and he knows how it's going to end.
And we are going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And it is going away. And it's probably going to go away now a lot faster because of the vaccine. It would go away without the vaccine, George. But it's going to go away a lot faster with it.
It would go away without the vaccine?
Sure. Over a period of time. Sure. With time. It goes
and many
away.
deaths.
And you'll develop like a herd mentality.
That's what we need, Steve.
Herd mentality.
Herd mentality. And I wonder, who would that herd be? Yes.
They have a herd mentality.
I mean, he's right. Eventually, all of us will no longer have the ability to get COVID-19 in about 40 years. All of you and I, we won't get it anymore.
Yep. Suppose.
So, yeah.
When we're all dead.
One press conference and a bit of another. Hopefully we only have 48 more days of this. My God. Please vote. If you're an American, vote.
You live in the dream over there. Absolutely live in the dream. Does he know that it's herd immunity, not herd mentality? Do you reckon he now thinks, well, as long as we all think the same way?
The thing is, when he says that, there's part of it, he wants people to think the same way. But the thing is, when he makes a mistake, he sticks with it. Yeah. So he will always say herd mentality now, because he's been saying that the 1918 epidemic was in 1917. He's just kept to that. So he doesn't change from these things. So that's it. It's redefined, and it will be redefined for his followers.
That one I can understand, because he must be very confused how in 2020 we're suffering with COVID-19. So he must be thinking, 1917, 1918, it's the same year. So that's, that one could easily baffle and befuddle an idiot. So that one I understand.
There are people in his administration who said this is COVID-19 because of all the COVIDs that came before.
Yeah.
As you've pointed out many times. About 19 times, I think we've covered that on the show.
That's very true. Right, keep some messages coming through. Sarah, hello to Sarah, who says, hey, this is the first time following this group on Facebook. They're watching this via... Are we on groups now as well?
Ooh,
I feel like
I guess so.
Might have accidentally clicked on something that we're not meant to be on. What else have we got going through? Yeah, so you can send the Twitter messages as well. Our Twitter things are on screen, and you can track us down on you can message via YouTube, via Facebook, and all that lot. And if you're enjoying it, there should be a link to chuck some money in our pot. It'd be a very nice way of doing it.
That would be great.
I got another problem.
All right.
This actual problem, I suppose we've had quite a mask heavy show so far, but I wanted to deal with the problem of masks. A lot of people don't like them. We see a lot of evidence of people doing these anti-mask protests. They turn up, they don't wear a mask, they mingle together. They're going to spread the coronavirus. And what I like to phrase it that they're building up turd immunity, because a certain kind of person will then help to spread the amount that we've got. But by the way, I bought a new one. You know, in the past, I don't know if did I ever show you the white mask that everyone says looks like a gusset? Right, that one.
Yeah.
It is quite, it's gusset-esque. And I went to visit my dad in the care home over the weekend, and the thing is, it turns out, actually, this one really muffles how you speak, and he can't hear very well, so I shopped around for another mask. So I'm solving the problem of masks that muffle your words. I found one. It's one that goes around the ears. And look at that. It doesn't really muffle, and it turns out I'm Batman. Oh, I'm not a grown-up. Also, have you noticed how off-centre? That's just that my face isn't symmetrical. What a terrible way to find out.
It's bad stitching.
It's not. I tried it, and it turns out my face is just off to one. I'm not an animal.
That explains a lot.
I'm Batman, and now Bruce Wayne. That's how that works. So, look, there's a lot of different things that you can use instead of a mask. We've looked at this many times. Episode 1, I made a mask out of my pants.
Yep.
You can go back and watch that. I think it's a good advice. You see people using scarves, snoods, various things. This was in the news. A man was pictured on a bus wearing a snake as a face mask.
What?
And let's have a look at the picture. That is, and it was a live snake. Who in their right mind is thinking, oh, I don't really like masks, I find them all claustrophobic, so I'll put a constrictor around my head? My fine. Wow. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I'm not an expert. So let's do this. To find out more, I'm joined now on the line by a doctor. Hello, thank you for joining me.
Hello, Steve.
Look, we often fall out, but you got to agree it's a bad idea, yeah?
Indeed, we agree. A snake is a poor substitution for a mask.
Thank you.
Because it's a reptile. You should use something like a mammal.
What?
The snake, with its scaly skin, it's not very absorbent and therefore won't capture many of the infected aerosols. Whereas if you go for a hairy mammal or even a feathered avian species, it's far, far better. Something like a Persian cat would be ideal, but as you can imagine, they are very difficult to train to sit on your face. That's why I've gone for this.
What, a moustache?
No, it's not a moustache. No, this is a well-trained chinchilla. Yes. Well, we do agree that a snake is not a good idea.
Right, so it's the worst thing to see on someone's face?
No, I'd say the worst thing to see on someone's face during this particular pandemic would be a bat.
On that, sir, we have to disagree.
Oh.
I'm Batman. There you go.
Nice.
Acting.
So can you, I don't know if it's easy to go back, but the man was wearing the snake was that on a bus?
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't do a snakes on a bus joke.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could have got the trailer with Samuel L. Jackson. Somebody get these beep snakes off my beep, and I could have said the word bus.
Can't believe, I'm really disappointed in you.
It's been a long day.
I mean, I think if anybody did make a donation and they want their money back, since that joke was not done.
Yeah. Do you know what? 40 episodes in, and I've not missed an obvious joke yet. But
I even did the material joke about Obama's suit.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, should have been done. So I think we're even.
There was a sketch that I did on radio years ago, which was about phobias, where I took the trailer of Samuel L. Jackson saying, like, get these beep, beep, snakes off my beep, beep, plane, and did it about clowns. And so revoiced it, but then there's a bit in the trailer where they go, shh, can you hear that? It's like some young people are about to die. Then you hear, but in my version of it, could you hear that? It was clowns on a plane.
Good times. Yeah. Oh, there's the voice.
Yeah. Oh, I could have used that voice as well in the flipping snakes on a bus.
We'll cover the story again, and then we'll do it next week.
Yeah. Damn it. If someone else could please wear a snake in anywhere, to be fair, because I think the joke works wherever, especially if it rhymes with the train or a tram. I'll take a tram. That would be great.
Snakes on a tram. Yeah, it could have been a tram. It was hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
But I mean, that wasn't in America.
Yeah.
So.
How weird is that? I mean, it should be in America, but look, we've all done it where you forget to take out the your mask. You leave, you pick up the keys, pick up the wallet, you're just about to go in a shop, like, I forgot my mask. I've never then been able to go, I'll just use my live snake that I've got with me. Who has that as a go-to?
Yeah, if your problem is you don't like masks because they don't let you breathe, and you put a boa constrictor around your neck, I don't think you're solving the problem that you were trying to get at.
Yeah, good point. Well made.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Right. Well, we are close to the end of the show. We are going to be back on Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the UK. You can send us problems throughout the week that we can work on. What does Chris ask? Who knows what the Donald thinks? Even the voices in his head have moved out with no forwarding address. Given up. Let's hope he moves out soon. But you know that when he leaves the White House, there'll be nothing nailed down. I mean, he's just going to, the towels, everything. I mean, the only thing he'll leave behind are Eric and Donald Jr. Yes, so we're back on Tuesday. Send us your problems on Twitter. We can work on your problems if you've got any. You can subscribe and tell people about the show, because we'd love for more people to see it and spread the word and the joy of comic solving problems. Anything else to add, Steve?
No, I think in general, I mean, if you like the new layout, any feedback on that, welcome. Might end up with some more lights or whatever. Got to try and look as good as we can during this whole thing. And if you'd like to chuck some money in the pot to help pay for the ridiculous amount of lights that we're all buying from B&M home stores to try and make this happen, where do you think I got this from? I was shopping for lights, and I was like, that's where they sell Batman masks.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're a hero.
If you've got any interesting masks as well, do send us a picture. Take a picture of it, send it to us on Twitter, on Facebook, or whatever. We should start to do a mask gallery. Can you beat the Batman mask? The Batman. So yeah, I think we're all up to date and whatnot. Chuck some money in the pot. The link should be somewhere near the stream, and then we'll see you on Tuesday. Till then,
see you then.